You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
Putting an end to all speculations, Virat Kohli stunned the cricketing family when he announced that he'll be stepping down as the captain of the Indian men's T20 team after the 2021 T20 World Cup, which will be held in UAE and Oman in October-November. He will, however, continue to lead India in Tests and One-Day internationals. Under his captaincy, India has won 27 out of 45 matches, including some unforgettable series wins in South Africa, England and Australia. But as shocking as this news is to Indian cricket lovers, many believe that the decision to relinquish the T20 captaincy came at an apt moment with pressures increasingly mounting on the skipper. While Kohli wrote about his immense workload as the captain of all the three formats, Tests, ODI and T20, and the need for space to be able to lead the Indian cricket team, the team's less than adequate performance at ICC events has also been a cause of concern for the BCCI. So all in all, was it a good call on Kohli's part? What does this mean for Virat the cricketer in T20s? And what next for India in T20s in terms of its team selection? In this podcast, we'll speak to senior sports journalist Ayaz Memon. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you. And I'm your host, Shawlbury. Kohli had taken charge of T20 captaincy in the three-match T20 international series against England in 2017 after Dhoni stepped down, thereby becoming the captain of India in all three formats. India's first T20 bilateral series win came under Kohli that year when the team won in Sri Lanka. The juggernaut picked up pace as Kohli led India unbeaten in T20 internationals from February 2019 to July 2021 when they lost against Sri Lanka under Shikhar Dhawan. With Kohli at the helm, India won 12 series out of 17, lost 2 and drew 3. In Kohli's last 10 games in the India colours, he has averaged 30.88, well off the high standards he set for himself. His career average in tests reads 51.08. In white ball cricket in the same period, he has scored at an average of 50.33 in 6 games and 73 in 8 games in T20 internationals and one-day internationals. Hence, if his form in the shorter format is not the big issue here, has the slump in red ball cricket had an effect? Is his decision to step down as T20 captain a good call? Was it affecting him? The timing may have come out of the blue, but it's not unusual, Mr. Ayaz Memon says.
Well, all things considered, I think it's a good call. One is that he obviously, as he mentions in his statement, that he's talking about the workload and how it's affecting it. And I think what he hasn't mentioned perhaps, but it's also true, is that his own personal form, batting form hasn't been that great. And, it's not unusual. We've seen in the past in Indian cricket itself, Sachin Tendulkar giving up captaincy, Rahul Dravid giving up the captaincy, Mahendra Singh Dhoni giving up the captaincy of ODIs and T20s. So the timing may have been surprising because it came out of the blue, but it's not unusual, and I think it's a fair call for him to take if he thinks he's going to improve his current situation where workload and batting form is concerned.
Mr. Memon also points out that in announcing this decision before the upcoming T20 World Cup is also interesting since he's opting out of this whether or not the team wins.
See, his decision follows the World Cup. So in that sense, it's also interesting because win or lose, he's opting out. So he's not played it, in a sense to be self-centered. Suppose he had to win the World Cup, T20, then there would be a clamour for him. Even his critics would say, no, let him continue, because he's won the tournament. But he's taken the call much before the World Cup to say that whether the team wins or loses, he is going to opt out of the captaincy.
But looking at the timing of this announcement, this comes right ahead of the T20 World Cup. This will be Kohli's first ever T20 World Cup as a captain. And the timing of it all has not only left fans distraught, but even former chief selector MSK Prasad and former India all-rounder Irfan Pathan were left surprised. But what does the timing of the announcement indicate? Mr. Memon says that the timing is also indicative of the fact that this has been brewing for a long time.
Yes. So I think, there is obviously a surprise element because from what one gathered when the news first came around that he might not be the captain for T20 cricket going ahead. And everybody, especially in the BCCI said, no, this is all speculation by the media, and he's been made captain. And then within a week, the decision emerges that he's quitting his captaincy after the World Cup. And even from the BCCI, now there is a statement which has come yesterday, is that they were planning out a roadmap for the last 5-6 months.
Right.
So obviously there have been parlays going on. In that sense, it is, the timing is very indicative that this has been brewing for a long time, and perhaps in many ways it could be said that maybe Kohli's hand was forced.
Another looming question as this announcement comes is, how much did dressing room dynamics play a role here? It's one of the worst kept secrets that in the dressing room, Kohli's deputy Rohit Sharma has been considered as a leader in recent times, as his style of leadership and selection has often come under the scanner with various experts raising questions. Kohli has not for some time really enjoyed the full backing of the dressing room.
It could be, he's talked about the workload, and if there are dressing room dynamics at play, then it would include obviously, because in the Indian team, a lot of the players are playing all three formats. For instance, Virat himself, Rohit Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, Ravindra Jadeja, Mohammad Shami, KL Rahul. Unlike, say, in England, where, the test players more or less, the test team is more or less very different from the ODIs and the T20 team, which Ian Morgan leads. So if there are dressing room dynamics at play, then it would affect all formats, not just the T20. And his statement says he wants to continue as captain of the ODIs and Test cricket. So we'll have to wait and see. But clearly, dressing room dynamics do change when a captain leaves the place or is replaced, and how then the rest of the players adjust or adapt to it is really crucial. So, for instance, in India, MS Dhoni retired from Test cricket suddenly in the middle of a Test series. And Virat Kohli took over. So obviously but he retired completely from Test cricket, and then he was captain of the ODIs and T20s, where Virat was not captain. So there had to be a mutual adjustment between the two till, of course, Virat became captain of all three formats, and then Dhoni was part of the team, having been captain earlier. So it takes a little extra, I think, from effort from players who continue to play when they've been captain earlier, or of senior players adjusting to a new to play under a new captain.
As the announcement came through, BCCI Secretary Jai Shah and BCCI President Sourav Ganguly, both while supporting Kohli in his decision, have also said that this decision has been made keeping a clear roadmap ahead. And this brings up an obvious question. Who will be the next captain? Perhaps for a while now, India has been in much need of reconfiguring its T20 setup with a captain who can command over the format. And with Kohli's statement naming Rohit Sharma as quote-unquote an essential part of the leadership group, it is unlikely that the mantle will be handed to anyone else. Other than Sharma's charisma and the rapport with the younger team members, there's also the fact that while Kohli hasn't been able to lead RCB to victory, Sharma won the IPL trophy 5 times for Mumbai Indians. So how's the way looking for India in T20s in terms of its team selection? Mr. Ayaz Memon weighs in.
Look, I mean, when they say roadmap, first things first, I think they're looking at a new captain, isn't it? So, and now it seems the captain waiting will be Rohit Sharma, who's not a youngster. When Dhoni was replaced by Virat was a much junior player, having started his career 6-7 years after Dhoni. So here actually Rohit and Virat are more or less of the same vintage. If anything, Rohit may be a year or 2 years senior to him in junior cricket and in senior cricket. But in terms of the roadmap, I think the issue perhaps had been that, which is what, going by what popular perception is, that Virat was not was unable to win an ICC tournament, and then the comparison with Dhoni or with Rohit was that he had not won an IPL title.
Right.
But when you look at Virat's record in T20 cricket, it's quite fantastic.
Right.
Bilateral contest
Yeah.
as a T20 captain. In fact, win percentage is even a little higher than Dhoni's. So while he has not won any title, he's won a lot of matches. Now, what does the roadmap mean? I think that I think going past the jargon that this is a roadmap and all that, I think it's basically to look at a fresh mind, to lead the team and see how the team evolves from there. Because after this World T20 World Cup, which is going to be played in a month and a half from now, there is the World Cup, T20 World Cup coming up again next year.
Yeah.
So it's one, in consecutive years, and I think the BCCI could be looking at maybe a fresher team led by a new captain.
Now, the next ODI World Cup is in 2 years' time and it'll take place in India, and Kohli is slated to lead out the Indian team. But fortunes change fast in Indian cricket, don't they? Mr. Memon also points out that the message Kohli has left is that he's available for ODI captaincy, but the decision is ultimately left to the selectors.
Yeah, I mean, look, generally the trend has been that if you're going to have a split captaincy, then the division is between white ball cricket and red ball cricket. So for instance, in England's case, Ian Morgan is the captain in ODIs as well as T20. Joe Root is the captain in Test cricket. And Root, in fact, doesn't play T20. He plays ODIs and he plays Test cricket. But it's not to say that is the best method necessarily. In New Zealand, who finished as World Cup finalists in 2019 ODIs and won the World Test Championship, play under Kane Williamson. He captains in all three formats. So we'll have to wait and see. Now that the decision has been kind of precipitated by Kohli himself officially, saying he doesn't want to captain, you are going to have two captains. You could have three captains, but you could have two captains. And if the decision is to have white ball cricket captained by one player and maybe Kohli as the Test captain with red ball, then who will that person be? It could be, by extension, logically, Rohit Sharma or whoever is going to be the T20 captain also then becomes the ODI captain. So we'll have to wait and see. The decision here, of course, is not, a lot of people have been kind of wondering how Kohli could have said that he'll still continue as captain. But that's not the point. I think what he's trying to say is available to captain in ODIs as well as Test cricket. But ultimately, the decision to make him captain rests with the BCCI and the selectors.
If you like listening to this episode, please subscribe to the Big Story playlist for episodic updates. We're live on Apple, Google Podcast, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website and check out the podcast section. For any feedback, shoot an email to podcasts@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.